morning, Kilbourne. This is your WKHS news for Friday, October 23rd, 2020. I'm Kendall Timms.
And I'm Amaya Harris.
COVID has isolated people all around the world for months, especially teens, from their social lives, which has left a very negative impact on their mental health.
People are meant to be surrounded by other people. Having to be by yourself for months has been a struggle for many teens.
Yasmin Saeed and Rachel Bergen go into further detail about this problem.
Not only did the pandemic itself affect students, but also the after effects of the virus, like the March to May quarantine.
Has COVID-19 had an impact on students' mental health? And my answer to you would be absolutely and significantly. I think that in the first beginning stages of our all needing to be quarantined in our homes and watching students at different places of kind of landmark places in your life, like graduation and what that looked like in the spring for some people, definitely impacted that generation of students in a different way than how it is continuing to impact us all right now. Students struggled at home in the spring to remain motivated and focused in how to complete studies, and then having summers of maybe isolation, maybe some engagement, having life not be normal, and not maybe having all the supports you need at home, or the support of your friends if you had to be at home alone, or if you had limited like cell phones or electronics. That I think is more common than what we realize.
Have you noticed a difference in your mental health during the pandemic?
No, not really.
No, not really. I think it's really important and people should start talking about it more and normalize it, so.
Yes, I have lost motivation to do my schoolwork.
Our students, and I work with students like in the entire school, and I work with students individually, the same as our school counselors do, and I'm a parent, and so I have a high school student. So I think I have not seen a single person that has not been impacted negatively because of this. I've noticed a spike in all students' stress in our last week and a half as we've transitioned and coming back. I think that that's a little harder on students right now, because we've gone from having a kind of a structure in our remote and kind of getting our groove with that and being able to have supports, have connection time available. And now as we're coming back into school, I think there are a lot of students that remain concerned about physical wellness, as well as our distancing, and then carry that thought process of how do I concentrate on my academics, which anytime we experience transitions in our lives can be hard. So that's a normal response to an abnormal situation.
Do you think mental health is talked about enough?
Yes.
No, not really. I think it's really important and people should start talking about it more and normalize it, so.
I think mental health is not talked about enough.
Not only did the pandemic itself affect students, but also the after effects of the virus, like the March to May quarantine.
You know, in isolation, we're designed to be creatures that interact with other things and other people. So I think it's interesting to think about isolation where we limit our physical contact. We still can contact other people. And I think for those that have the ability and the skills to be able to network with other people, we can still communicate with others. It just looks different. But we need to do it. And so engaging in it can be harder. But I mean, some of the good things that comes from isolation too, I think, is having us unplug a little bit and being able to focus on ourselves and spend time with really thinking about what we need to take care of ourselves. So, you know, we are designed to be social creatures, but we do need that downtime. And I think isolation has forced our brains to slow down a little bit at times, which I think has helped a little bit too.
Another way of getting their mental health in check is having a mental health day. Recently, students in Hilliard have been able to have mental health days off.
Yes, I think students should be allowed to have mental health days.
Yes, that'd be really nice for a lot of people. I know that it helps so much for school and at home stuff.
I do think students should have mental health days because I think it'll be extremely helpful if they're having a bad week and can't get back up. They just need that one day of redemption.
This has been Yasmin Saeed and Rachel Bergen, WKHS News.
This has been your WKHS News. Tonight, football travels to Olentangy for their third round of the playoffs. The game starts at 7, so be sure to wish them luck.
Volleyball and girls soccer also have their first playoff games tomorrow. Volleyball is home at 10 and girls soccer is home at 7.
We also wanted to give a special shout out to Mr. Dixon because this week was his last week at Kilbourne. Thank you for being a friend to all your students and making the drop-in lab such a fun place to hang out.
On behalf of your senior class, it has been the best 4 years with you. Thank you for everything. Good luck at your new job, and we'll miss you.
Thanks for watching, Kilbourne. Have a fun and safe weekend and make sure to stay healthy.
Yeah.